Three-quarter time at the Sydney Showground, Spotless Stadium. GWS chasing win number 5 and the Bombers desperate to stay connected with the top 8. GWS trail it by 5 points. It's the Bombers 56, leading GWS 51 at the final break as I turn to the 220-game dual All-Australian with all the Triple M Bosch Tool stats. Here's Nathan Brown.
Cornelio, 29 disposals. Josh Kelly had 14 disposals in that quarter to be 26. Kellen Ward, 26. Heath Shaw, 25. And for the Bombers, Zaharakis, 23. Dyson Heppel slowed down a bit, 22. And Zach Merritt, 19. They've had 16 clearances between them, those two. Look, GWS had the better of that quarter again, failed to put it on the scoreboard again. The Bombers' pressure is outstanding. They had about a 10-minute period where they couldn't capitalise on it as well. It is slippery. It is hard to score at the moment. It's going to come down to the side that shows the most poise and class under pressure. You got Josh Kelly, Cornelio, Jacob Hopper, Watt Whitfield. These are the guys that I expect to rise above this and rise above with class. For the Bombers, I want Zach Merritt. I want Dyson Heppel. I want the young man Devon Smith to take this game by the scruff of the neck and show why they're going to be an up-and-coming young side.
For Bob Jane T-March, the tyre and wheels specialist, the ample beak of Troy Luffers, boundary side.
Yeah, boys, the temperature has certainly dropped here. It's just under 12 degrees now, so the grass has got a nice little bit of dew across the top. It's going to be very slippery. And Jake Stringer, he spent the last couple of minutes of that third quarter on the bench with the doctor. He went out with the team huddle, but has now run down the players' race into the room. So I'll have to check out to see what's wrong with him.
Nice work, Luffy, around the grounds. What's happening at Cardinia Park?
Cats by 18, early stages, final term over the Blues.
For the Big Mac, Triple M rocks footy. Final stands are underway. Errant bounce. How about we just throw it up? So Lob hands it back.
Hey, Luffy, is Heath Shaw started on the bench as well?
Having a look down, yes, he is. Heath Shaw's on the bench.
So second go at it. Lob hits it forward. Ward, look at him burst away. Uses Hopper with the handball. He's got a little bit of time and space. He'll dump it towards half forward. Ball gets to the back. In the van is Ambrose trying to push it forward. Sard sweats on it. Can he pick it up? Not cleanly. Langdon all over the top of him. Disputed ball at half forward for the Giants.
It comes out the back where Hopper's first to it. His handball as he was falling over was good. It got it to Ward. Ward sends it inside 50. Surely Himmelberg held on to. Umpire agrees. Harrison Himmelberg will have the shot. 45 out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, good pick-up on that occasion. He was trying to get a run at the footy, and sometimes as a defender, when you feel like your opponent's just got that extra yard of distance, you need to hold on to something, and most of the time it's the jumper, which the umpire saw.
Giants have trailed all game. Himmelberg with a chance to give them the lead for the first time all night. Oh, there's a radar on these posts tonight, boys, because that's hit the post for the umpteenth time this evening. The margin back to 4 points now in favour of the Bombers on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
So Sard from the southern end wants to run, taps it to himself, runs full distance, launches towards centre wing. The ball gets to the back and will elude Jeremy Cameron out of play. So what's that, the fourth or fifth poster we've had tonight. Margin back to 4 points. Early stages, final term of this one. They throw it back in. Just the Giants side of centre wing holding on. It'll be a free kick going to the Western Australian and Cornelio.
Giants on top early in the final term. It's a 4-point margin. You can just feel momentum shifting in favour of the home side as Cornelio sends it inside. Forward 50, Taranto no mark. Bombers are out here. Zaharakis, he's been tracked well here by Langdon. Langford, a half volley pick up out of side. Whitfield closes him down. McDonald Tippenwoody is out in space, guarded by Perryman, centre wing out of side of Spotless Stadium.
Yeah, just held up for a minute.
You're right, Brad. 5 posters tonight, 3 to the Giants.
So they had to go sideways. Thank you, Brownie, to get out as Tippenwoody goes down the line. The Coolingully kid, Hopper, he's hard as nails, this kid. He cuts it off at half-back for GWS. Nothing in board, so he launches it back down the line.
Contest, no mark taken in front by Lob. Patton claims he was pushed out of it. The umpire says he wasn't. So we'll have a boundary throw in left half forward for the Giants. It's a 4-point margin for Bob Jane T-Mart's Troy Luff.
Yeah, boys, I wonder if there's a little bit of sickness going through a couple of the Essendon players, because Stringer has gone down the rooms with a doctor, came back out within a minute, and during that third quarter, Matt Gilfie did the same thing. Went with the doctor, only gone for a couple of minutes, and has since come back.
4 points to the good of the visitors. Zaharakis, they've worked feverishly all night. Essendon, they get it towards centre wing, pushing it in the pathway of Tippin Woody. He'll get a handball received. No, it's going to be cut off. It spills out now. Zaharakis was clever. Loops the handball over the top. That's Laverde. He'll kick it to full forward, 1-on-1. Any mark taken? Is it a mark paid to Langford? I think it is.
Free kick.
Wow,
Said he
grabbing
held
the
on.
man. So Nick Haynes, it was a 1-on-1 battle. And Langford just had too much of the jumper, and Nick Haynes gallops away from fullback.
Umpires have had a stinker tonight.
Brownie on the Triple M Super Special Comments. Nathan Brown calling it like he sees it tonight. Yeah, they've suggested the fans wanted deliberate out of bounds. The umpire, you get that one right, Brownie?
Yeah, he did. It was an accident. But the mark to Langford, it was just a good contest. He used his body to perfection, and the umpire, I reckon he guessed.
Boundary throw in, Bell Chambers and lob. Heppel. Happy to see it over the boundary line, and we'll do it all again. So the margin is 4 points in favour of the Bombers on the Triple M Ream scoreboard. Solar, continuous flow and storage hot water. Reams, Australia's favourite installer Ream.
So the guns for GWS are all there.
Fair amount of space.
Canelio, Ward, Shield. So Shield's been tracking Heppel most of the evening as Bell Chambers just slaps it forward, gains about 25 metres for his club, just forward to centre wing, western side. Bob Jane T-Mart's Luffy.
Yeah, boys, while Heath Shaw's off the ground, Nick Haynes is the one playing the spare man in defence for the Giants.
Bob Jane T-Mart's the tyre and wheel specialist. Bell Chambers wins this one again unfairly, said the umpire. No, he's going to get the free kick. Well, you be the judge.
I didn't see that one either.
No, Bell Chambers to send Essendon forward.
He drops it out in front of Stewart, who's got some separation.
That's 50.
Yep.
That's 50. That's done by Tomlinson.
And Dev Smith goes straight up to his former teammate Adam Tomlinson, lets him know. So James Stewart will be marched to the goal square and will kick an absolute certainty, and the first one of the final term.
Why would he do that? It's just an extraordinary brain explosion from Tomlinson there, because you're going to have a shot from outside the boundary, 50 metres out, very, very low percentage, and now he's a certainty.
And James Stewart, who's had a moderate night at best, gets an easy one, picks a cherry, and McKernan gets up in Tomlinson's face. There's a bit going on in the goal square now with Core, McKernan. Bit of a show of strength there. Not exactly Ali v Fraser, but a good tussle nevertheless. 10-point margin to the Bombers. 16.5 to play, final term, Triple M Ream scoreboard.
What could he have possibly accomplished by putting his hands on him and pushing him after he's marked it? The season is on the line. You are 4 points down early stages of the last quarter, and your man's just taken a mark and you decide to push him fair and square in the back over the boundary line. It is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen on a football field.
Might earn him a quiet little chat on Monday with the coach.
It might cost your side a chance to play finals in this season. It might cost your coach a job at the end of the year.
For the Big Mac, Triple M Rocks footy, Essendon, look at him escape out of the middle. A quick give to Bagley, long shot of goal's going to miss near side. And there'll be a minus score, so 10 becomes 11 points to the visitors. 6.5 played final term, Triple M Reams scoreboard.
Shaw brings it into Core.
They look stagnant, GWS, they're looking for a spark.
Not a lot of movement ahead, as you said, Brad. Core goes long, forced to a contest. Running away with it was Stringer. Gives it to Fantasia. He lowers the eyes. The kick had too much on it for Bagley, but the perfect amount for McKernan. And Brownie, since that Braden fade from Tomlinson, the Bombers have come to life.
Yeah, they have. It's just swung them into action. They've won the last 3 clearances on that occasion. Their run and carry's been good, and if he kicks this, it is a long, long way back for the Giants.
It's an 11-point margin. He kicks this, and the Giants, who've only kicked 7 all game, will need to kick at least 3 or 4 to win it. Sean McKernan kicked 3 in the first quarter against Geelong last week. Hasn't got one yet tonight. Oh, he loves it. He absolutely loves it, does Sean McKernan. They've come from everywhere, and the margin is now 17 points in favour of the Bombers on the Triple M Ream scoreboard with 15 minutes to play. Panic stations for the Giants.
Well, I said at three-quarter time before we went into this last quarter, it was going to be the players that showed the most poise and the most class and rose above, I guess, what has been a pretty scrappy game. And now, twice, the Bombers have risen above that. And on that occasion, it was Zach Merritt. Had the ball just outside 50, had an option forward, just short. He decided to go to the long option, which was probably the better option for this man, McKernan, who is a very good shot at goal. Well done to Merritt.
So margin 17 points now. They stunned the highly rated Cats last week. Their good form has continued. There's 17 points to the good for the Big Mac. Triple M rocks. Footy back in the middle. Disputed ball. Merritt's just forward to the footy. He's got the running. Zaharakis slices through forward 50. Zaharakis! Look at him get to him. They come from everywhere. They love that one, the Bombers. And could that be the first nail in the coffin of the GWS season? 11-9-75 Essendon. At the 9-minute mark of the final term, they lead the Giants 7-10-52 on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
Well, it's amazing what momentum does and what one selfish act does on a football field of Adam Tomlinson. He's a nice young man, Adam. I've met him a few times, but his act down here has just cost his side the momentum, and it's cost them the game and possibly a final series.
3 goals in 3 minutes to the Bombers has turned this one on its head. An arm wrestle for 3 quarters, and now it is the Bombers with a 23-point lead, and here they come through the skipper, Dyson Heppel, for the Big Mac. Triple M rocks footy, and everything working for the Bombers now. Sean McKernan, sticky mitts, right on 50.
He's a huge kick, this kid, and he's a very good kick at goal as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back and nailed this.
It explodes off the boot when he flushes it. Sean McKernan. Brownie's backing him in. Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super for everyone in building and construction. And he gave a roar when he kicked his first one moments ago. This one might bring the house down for the Bombers fans in attendance. Thump. He's missed to the right-hand side. It's going to be punched through for a behind. Margin now 24 points. 4 straight goals in favour of the Bombers. 11-9-76. Play 7-10-52. Triple M Ream scoreboard.
It's a long way back now for GWS. They've got to get and go. A little chip to the pocket to Heath Shaw as they try to work it forward and prise the door open from the northern end. They get it now. Transition is good. They got it out the back to Taranto. He's in the middle of the ground. He stops and props. Goes backwards. A little kick forward from Perryman. It's a 2-on-1. Essendon with the numbers. Clever. McKenna. He'll have to give the handball. Zaharakis heavily involved. Laverde. He's cool in a crisis. Goes wide. And McGrath marks on the outer half-back flank.
And he's got men loose further afield. Stewart takes his time. Measures the kick. Bagley. Kicked the first 2 goals of the game. Been pretty quiet since. And he's got this one just inside the boundary and the 50-metre arc. So it'll be a tough shot from there. 24 points the margin. The Bombers with 3 minutes in this final term. Bagley, team thing, pops it to the top of the square. Lobb takes the mark. The Giants have to go. They have to be daring. Their season is on the line.
Yeah, bold and everything like it now. So the handball from Lobb to Heath Shaw as he chips a little past to Hopper. He can't mark it. Ball gets to the back. Hands will have to be clean. They're not, as Merritt applies the pressure and gets the ball out of play.
What the Giants have to do now is every time they get the ball, they're going to try and get it through the middle. They're going to take chances. It's better to lose by 40 points. It's 24 points at the moment, but you've got to have a crack at winning the game.
So right on 4 goals. 11-10 plays 7-10. They toss it back in. Broadcast side half forward for Essendon. Bit of a stalemate as the ball's caught underneath. Merritt and Griffin, Laverde and Perryman. Umpire asks, boys, just separate yourselves and give it to me. So 12 played final term. Essendon with 3 goals in 3 minutes to lead it by 24 points.
Griffin, round the body kick. Himmelberg tried the impossible. I don't know if that was a percentage play. Kelly, first game back from a long layoff. His handball was intercepted. Smith sends it forward. Bagley spoiled from behind. McGrath went off the deck. Bombers have numbers all. They've cleaned each other up there, Smith and Laverde. hands and knees was Hopper. The Bombers again with numbers on the outside.
Yeah, squirting little handball, clever to Ridley, uses left side, puts him inside forward 50 again, squirting ball to full forward. Buntine should be the first to get back there. He uses core on the way out. It's a high dump kick under pressure and standing underneath it with courage. Now wait till he gets up, that man Perryman, and he marks it half back for GWS broadcast side.
This is where they have to go though. They trail by 24 points. 12 minutes to play. That kick, not ideal. Dev Smith, he's been electric. Bagley all on his own. Has marked 15 metres out, directly in front. Look at the Bombers get around Dev Smith. Number one pressure player in the game, and he's been so tonight, Brownie.
We spoke about you need to take a chance through the middle. He didn't even, the young man Perriman took a great mark, didn't even take a chance through the middle. It was a short ball to a 50-50. I mean, if you're going to take a chance, take a real chance, put it in the middle, give yourself an opportunity.
Coming into this game, Mark Bagley had 6 goals in his career. He's about to kick his third and put the game beyond doubt, you'd reckon, for the Bombers. Has about a bag of 3 for Mark Bagley. 30 points now, the margin on the Triple M Ream scoreboard, and the Bomber train continues to roll on.
Well, hasn't he been good since that Carlton game where he had that fracas with, I think, Jed Lamb. And the last 2 weeks, they've moved him forward, and he was very good last week against the Cats forward. He kicked the first 2 tonight. Now he's kicked his third, so he's had a really good fortnight.
Been important around the grounds from down at the Cattery. It's the Cats by 10 points. Geelong 8-7-55, leading the Blues 5-15-45 for the Big Mac. Triple M rocks footy. So 30 points to the good of the Bombers now. A long, long way back. Time the enemy of the Giants now. Errant bounce. How about we just throw it up? We'll just waste another 20 seconds till they do so. So Stuart McKerna, Zaharakis and Bagley with goals for Essendon in this final term. Disputed ball in the middle. That's good from the Colin Gully kid in Hopper. Round the body ball, high towards half forward. Committed was Goddard, well done. Just forced the ball to the ground. A little handball to McGrath. He had time for a fumble. Errant kick, centre wing turnover. Can they get it back? No. Lockie Whitfield was clever as he scoots away.
He lowers the eyes, wants Jeremy Cameron sliding in. Definitely no mark. Got the handball out to Cornelio. He goes towards the boundary where Ward. Further on, up ahead is Kelly around the body with the left shoe. Josh Kelly, his first game back from an injury layoff, and he's just been a half a yard off tonight, what he normally is. The margin now 29 points. A Bob Jane team, it's boundary side, Troy Luff.
Yeah, boys, the last few minutes, Essendon scored a couple of goals. They'd manned up Heath Shaw. They didn't allow him to be on his own. And now, after that last goal, they've pushed 3 players into defence. There's 9 defenders for Essendon.
So Timmy Moore blasts it forward, caught in a good tackle. That's a beautiful tackle, ball and all style from Guelphy. And I think he's earned himself a free kick at half-back for the Bombers. They've been a committed bunch again tonight. Brownie asked for their leaders to set the scene early. They did that. Led by Heppel.
Late 78 tackles so far tonight, the Bombers.
Yeah, that is one team performance. So he plays on a little handball. Guelphy to Sard. Sard towards centre wing. GWS with the numbers via Griffin at the back.
Hopper dances around Heppel. He's going to send it inside forward 50. Himmelberg from behind, no mark paid. Guelphy there involved. Himmelberg sits on him. And we'll have a ball up inside the Giants forward 50.
It's been a terrific effort from Essendon to come in a state to lead it by 29 points at this stage. 16 minutes, 16 and a half gone. Final term. And their pressure has been immense from the get-go. So disputed ball, forward pocket, Kelly. Well, he was pushed out of it from Guelphy as Guelphy went round the corner from the back pocket to half-back. Bagley made it look okay. Did he get it out in the full or off hands? I think it's off hands. And we'll have a throw in forward 50. So the Bombers are 12-10, Giants 7-11 as we head to 18 minutes final term on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
Bagley with the first 2 of the game. He kicked his third in this fourth quarter. Only had 6 to his career prior to tonight, and Dylan Buckley is hit up with a beautiful pass by his skipper, Callum Ward. He's 50 from home, though, Dylan Buckley. He's got one to his name. The haze is still hanging around. It's been here for 2.5 quarters of this game at Spotless Stadium. Bit of backburning, Luffy informs us, taking pace earlier in the day, as well as a bushfire carrying on about 25 k's away. Dylan Buckley kicks a consolation. He still thinks they're in it. Oh, and the boys have come around him. Brownie, there's still a bit of fight in the Giants here. The margin now back to 23 points on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
Well, funnier things have happened, but in this last quarter, it's been the Bombers, and I asked for a big lift out of the Bombers, I guess, senior players, and Zaharakis and Smith have been fantastic in this early part of this last quarter. And you look down the list of the GWS players, there's a lot of players who've had one disposal or less, and you're 18 minutes into this last quarter. Bombers, I guess their engine room has stood up in this last quarter, and the Giants have let themselves down.
For the Big Mac, Triple M rocks footy. So 23 points to the good of the visitors now. McKernan elevates. Well, I'm not sure about that decision either, but Lobb will take a free kick. They have to go. The Collingully kid, Hopper, high ball towards half forward Cameron. He got a run at it, didn't mark the footy. Sard at the back, wants left side.
Got enough of a hook on it to keep it in play. Core spoils from behind and it goes over the boundary line. For Bob Jane teammates, Troy Luff, an injury update for the Giants.
Yeah, Tim Tarando's gone for the night. He was getting his left quad, looked at right in front of me. There are a couple of massive stud marks down the front of the quad, and so he's gone for the day.
Timmy Taranto, that's a blow for the Giants. Callum Ward's wrapped up by Dev Smith. What are Dev Smith's tackle numbers, Brownie? He has been everywhere tonight. Like white on rice, as Zaharakis goes around the body.
At 13 tackles, Smith.
13 tackles. I mean, he is the standard bearer for pressure in the AFL. Callum Ward with courage, went back with the flight, somehow got a kick to it, and here's Patton.
Yeah, Patton from the grass with a handball to Whitfield. Whitfield low dart to Himmelberg. And the boy from Mangapla, Cookadinny United, 45 out directly in front, southern end.
Well, he missed one at the start of the quarter, which would have put him in front, hit the post, and pretty much since then, the Bombers went down the other end and kicked 4 goals, but in the flash, needs to kick this to give them any hope.
So time the enemy now of the Giants. Himmelberg on the runway. He'll have to kick it straight from about 45. He likes it off the boot. It fades late. Margin back to 22 points on the Triple M Ream scoreboard to the good of Essendon.
Missed some easy ones tonight, the Giants.
Yeah, it hurts. The draw with St Kilda earlier in the season is one that probably got away from them, and it's been a free fall ever since down the ladder for the Giants, and it doesn't get any easier next week. They travel to Adelaide to take on the Crows, probably one of the harder road trips in AFL footy. The Bombers, meanwhile, a blockbuster on the MCG against the Richmond Tigers.
82 Essendon, 60 Giants. And we have 7 minutes to play final term, so there is enough time. McGrath has other ideas from half-back. A hacking kick towards half-forward. And he'll find the boundary line.
I reckon
Fantasia.
The Giants players would escape that day-to-day newspaper, I guess, just that AFL world that is Melbourne. They'd escape that, so they can go back to their own houses tonight. They can walk around the streets, and it doesn't affect them that much. They haven't got people looking at them and judging them all the time like you do in Melbourne. It's a bit of a different atmosphere up here. And you just wonder, do they feel it enough like an Essendon did 2 weeks ago?
Well, the Giants are on the outer side here. Buckley, who's got 2, probably could have picked it up. Decided to go off the deck instead. Set it forward 40 metres. Leading the race back there is Guelphy. He's happy to be escorted over the boundary line.
Tell you what they will turn up is the Bunsen Burners, is the Melbourne media on Leon Cameron now. He's a very good mate of mine. I played footy with him, but I can just see that the media are going to want someone to go after, and he's the coach, and I'd imagine that he's the man they will go after.
And Triple M Seabus super special comments. Seabus super for everyone in building and construction, as we have a stalemate at half forward outer side for the Giants. They trail it by 22 minutes. 22 gone final term.
Does it hurt them enough when they go home tonight and they've lost? Haven't won a game for 5 weeks, and they lose to the Bombers where they should have probably won it. They lost to the Saints, drew with the Saints, they should have won it. Does it hurt enough when they don't have to face the scrutiny of some of the other clubs?
So hemmed in, we're on the boundary line. They're working in tight, confined spaces. A little hack and kick forward from Cornelio is marked by Goddard on defensive 50. So they just need to kill a couple of minutes here, Essendon. If they're half smart, they just need to own the footy. So just work it round across half back. And they do that. That's better from Sard. He goes back to Goddard, and Goddard goes up the line to Tip and Woody, who'll mark centre wing out of side.
And you're right, Brownie, that's probably been the knock on the Giants for their years in the competition, all the talent. There's been questions whether there's enough steel in this side in terms of the style of the play and the way they deal with the losses. As the ball goes inside the Bombers forward 50, Whitfield v McGrath. Whitfield leads back in the race. He's about to be hunted down by Bagley, though. Oh, Bagley! Jake Stringer punted it into the fifth row, but that is a goal to Mark Bagley every day of the week. And that is the nail in the coffin of this game, and maybe for the season for the Giants, as the lead stretches to 28 points on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
If you had to sum up this game in one bit of play, one snapshot, that was it. The fact that Lockie Whitfield, who's an unbelievably talented player, had time to pick up that footy, look up, and all of a sudden he was dragged down, mowed down by a player with less ability and tackled. The 81st tackle for the Bombers for the night, and they get a goal from it.
Yeah, all built on intent.
Yeah.
Started with their leaders early on.
And you saw that tackle on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances, and that was a nice smelling one from Mark Bagley.
For the Big Mac, Triple M rocks footy. Zaharakis goes out of the middle. High ball towards half forward, out of side. Heath Shaw comes up. Just hacks it out of the air towards centre wing. Whitfield, Laverde, and also Guelphy there out of play. Well, a way to throw in. Young Guelphy. Been impressed with him at half back.
He's
also.
been all right tonight. 19 disposals for the Bombers.
Yeah, just mopped up. Done the correct things. Done the percentage play when it's been a one-on-one. Neutralised balls. And he's been attacking when it's been called for. They throw it back in.
Ward gets the clearance only as far as that man, Guelphy. You boys spoke about him. Prescient by you two. Very good. As he looks to the outer side. Wanted Stewart. Tomlinson. Shaw kicks a bit of an up and under in the centre of Spotless Stadium. Perryman and Whitfield there. Goddard falls over. Langdon wrapped up in a big tackle by Guelphy. Really starting to ram home the point you two just made about his performance as Heppel goes inboard for McDonald, Tip and Woody.
Yeah, it's a lateral ball. So Tip and Woody just backward of the centre circles. In no hurry. Just waits. Yeah, it's clever. Just drops it on the chest of Bell Chambers and centre wing. They've got a spare man back if they want. He's telling him to go long down the line. So instead of going long down the line, he goes short down the line. And it's picked up by Haynes. He wants big Timmy Moore. They work together against the boundary line. Essendon converge by Langdon. Smith, clever again. A little kick forward. It'll get towards half forward, but not his best effort as Devon Smith and Nick Haynes come together at centre wing. It'll be a Giants ball at half back.
They're going to switch to the outer side. Aidan Corr is forced to halt the switch and go to centre half back where Lockie Whitfield, in what will be a disappointing game number 100 for the former number one draft pick. Shaw, Haynes long down the line, dragged down by Bagley after he kicked it. Could have been downfield. Umpire said play on. Cal Ward, he's never stopped giving up, and he was held on to there by Merritt. The Bombers are starting to bully them as well, Brownie. Really starting to rub their noses in it.
Yeah, I like to see it.
Whitfield wants Langdon, not really a tall target, and he was out muscled in the contest there. McGrath wrapped up by Shield, have a ball up on the 50 arc. We're doing it all tonight for the Big Mac, and the new Grand Big Mac is available at McDonald's after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time.
So we await a ball up. 28 points to the good of the visitors. Time ticking away as we approach 27 minutes final term. Little handball from Langdon was clever. Heppel, he's worked his butt off all evening. Gets it to centre wing. Ball out the back now. Stringer can go. Runs his full distance. 60 from home. Stringer towards goal. Stringer's kicked 2 in 3 minutes. And if the coffin wasn't nailed shut, it is now.
Yeah, nice
Margin
finish.
out to 34 points on the Triple M Ream scoreboard, and solar and continuous flow. Storage Hot Water Ream is Australia's favourite installer Ream.
Yeah, it was a nice finish by Jake Stringer. He had a lot of space. He summed it up He didn't have the leg speed to get away from his opponent, so he thought, well, there's no one in between me and the goals. 55 metres out, I reckon I can just skid this one through. And it was a beautiful finish.
He walks away from tonight with 2 goals to his name. Jakey Stringer, they both come late. He's kicked the last 2 goals of the game.
And he's got 3 now.
All right, well done, Brownie. That's why you get paid the big bucks. Said you'd put in a premiership 4th quarter, Brownie. You've been very good.
Needed to.
Dyson Heppel hands it off to Bagley. He's got 3. Oh, chance to kick his 4th, goes begging. So the margin, 34 points in favour of the Bombers. This one done and dusted with 2.5 to play.
So Giants quick to bring it back in. Heath Shaw broadcast side towards centre wing, and Sard was clever on the bigger man Patton and got it out of play right in front of our man. Big beak, mullet, flannelette short shirt, Bob Jane T-Marts. Luffy, are you with us? No, he's not.
Yeah, I am.
He's probably...
I think he now that we know the result...
Just looking at the Jew down there.
He's probably making his way to the Essendon rooms. They win it across halfback. Stewart to McGrath.
Or he's going to help out the RFS with the bushfire. Either way, he's not boundary side as Bagley sends it towards Stringer. Why wouldn't you? The man's kicked 3, Brownie tells me. And it goes over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. 2 minutes to play. 35-point margin in favour of the Bombers, and GWS will need to look inward in a big way after this one.
14-11 to 8-12. Essendon are going to taste sweet victory tonight. So at the back, Merritt clever, a little handball, beautifully done, round the body. That was Heppel. Low down, Heath Shaw gets the handball away. A scrubbing kick will get out a defensive 50. That's low down is Griffin. High in the tackle, that was Buckley. We had a free kick to Essendon, and that happens half forward.
Jaden Laverty. He's a big body, and he's just going to thump it long to the top of the square. Huge fly from Stringer. Went about a week too early on that one. And how he's appealing for a free kick, I don't know. Brownie?
He is. He went a bit early.
He jumped a fortnight before that ball had come anywhere near him, and the Giants take the free kick to the outer side.
80 seconds on the tick-tock as Heath Shaw goes wider to Adam Tomlinson, back pocket, northern end. Been a terrific performance for Essendon this evening. Tomlinson, long out wide. Nick Haynes got plenty of it, and he's paid the mark. So just ticking down the seconds now. He gallops inboard on the angle, drives it low and hard towards half forward. Patton hasn't worked his way into the game at all. Comes to half back, Merritts. He's a clever player, goes backward with a handball. Sard buys himself some time, goes backwards again to Langdon. He's under the pump now. He was cool in a crisis. And Sard, that's a clever little kick on the angle. And he finds Zaharakis, a true centre-half back.
Zaharakis goes to the outer wing where Merritt is absolutely crunched. He got the free kick. Advantage paid to Dev Smith. Over the top to Jimmy Stewart. Dev Smith kept running. This would be very apt if Dev Smith kicked the final goal. He kept going. He's kicked and hit the target in Stringer. And it spilled over the boundary line. And Dev Smith still pushing and shoving. He's been dropped by Aiden Court. The umpire's seen it. He hasn't paid a free kick, though. Hasn't been sucked into it, Brownie.
No, it was good on the outer side when Zach Merritt went down. 2 Essendon players pretty much sprinted over to pick him up to see if he's okay.
So McKernan just tries to get this one to the back in the forward pockets. They pile in on top.
Just the little things. Just the little things that the Bombers have done well.
They certainly have. As John Worsfold will be a smiling coach perhaps this evening.
No.
So out of the ruck, little tap down. Siren sounds. It doesn't matter now. A gutsy win from Essendon. Victory number 4 for 2018. Geelong and GWS in successive weeks.
Cowboys who play this incredible game are always striving for glory and fame. See the Bombers fly up, up. The other teams they don't fear. They all try their best, but they can't get near as the Bombers fly up.
17 points at quarter time, 9 at the main break. 5, and we had ourselves a ball game at three-quarter time. It ended with a 35-point win to the Essendon Bombers. 14-11-95. They defeat GWS 8-12-60 as we stand by, thanks to Channel 7, for a quick interview on ground. Jude Bolton's down there. We might cross to him right now. We're waiting. They celebrate at the northern end. It's been a terrific performance by Essendon. One built on a defensive effort. They set the scene last week against the Cats, and they continue it forward.
85 tackles again tonight.
85 tackles. Let's go boundary side with Channel 7's Mark Bagley.
The team now has the blueprint, don't they? Such a week there, been able to turn around and just focus on our pressure and the basics, and it's turned around for us.
It's that pressure. It's been overwhelming, particularly for Geelong and now the Giants. It's something you can really feed off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a massive focus for us. Gives our backs time to set up and intercept the ball if we can put a little bit of pressure on coming out.
Big Tommy Bell-Chambers, he only had the 3 disposals, but enormous impact. You guys scored heavily from stoppages. I think he had 46 hit-outs and almost 19 to advantage.
Yeah, we don't want big disposals off Tommy. We just want him to compete and give our mids first use.
You were fantastic tonight. Good work.
Thanks, mate.
We thank Jude Bolton, Channel 7, and Mark Bagley there. Kicked the first 2 goals of the game, Bagley, and then kicked a third late in that final term. One of the sealers to get the Bombers home by 35 points. Just repeating that final score, 14-11-95 Essendon. They defeat GWS 8-12-60. And our man, Nathan Brown, is right here for the Triple M Bosch Tool Stats.
Yeah, well, for the Bombers, they didn't have, they had less possessions than GWS, but less inside 50s. But the big stat of the night was the tackles, 85-57. So I thought that was a glaring thing. And as we just heard, the clearances, 55-42, 13 in favour of the Bombers. So they've won the hard stuff and they've tackled the hard stuff as well. David Zaharakis, 33 disposals, 6 clearances and a goal. Dyson Heppel had 28 and 12 clearances. Zach Merritt, 24 and 3 goals. The major goal scorers were Stringer and also Bagley. For GWS, Heath Shaw, 34 disposals, 918 metres gained. He was very good tonight, Heath Shaw. Kellen Ward, 34 disposals. Canelio had 32 disposals and 12 clearances. Josh Kelly in his return had 29 disposals. And their major goal scorer was Jeremy Cameron with 2, along with Dylan Buckley, who finished with 2.
For the Big Mac, Triple M Rocks Footy. The new Grand Big Mac is available at McDonald's after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time. A win, a stoic win, built on defensive pressure largely. Brownie, you mentioned the tackle count there. What was the differential in tackles?
It was 28.
28 differential. 80-odd tackles for Essendon this evening. 7-minute mark to the 10-minute mark in the final term. They set this game. Well, they turn it on its head with a 3-goal performance in 3 minutes. Liam, you have today's Macca's moment.
Yes.
For me, please.
Well, today's Macca's moment, and this is not one of the moments, but before we get to today's Macca's moment, Brownie, I just want to hark back to the Adam Tomlinson incident that really sparked this last quarter surge from the Bombers. It was down here in front of us on the left half forward for the Bombers. James Stewart got some separation on him, and as you said, he took a mark right on the boundary line, 45 metres, 50 metres from goal, and then Adam Tomlinson, it can be best described as a brain fade what happened next.
It was frustration because his opponent took a mark on him and he pushed him in the back, and it was a forceful push too. It wasn't one of those ones where you think, oh, is that 50 or not? As soon as he did it, you knew that's 50 metres. Look, you don't want to bag the young man too much, but you can't do that. This is an elite sport. This is the biggest sport in our country. A lot of money goes through the turnstiles, a lot of money goes through sponsorship, a lot of money goes through everything around the football club. Coaches hang on how their players play, and a moment like that, brain fade or not, it's not AFL level, and it cost his side dearly tonight. And it's hard. It'd be harsh to say that it cost them the game, but I don't see any other way other to describe that it probably was the turning point of the game. They were only a couple of points down at that stage. The Bombers then got the momentum and kicked the next 4 goals.
All right, we're standing by for today's Macca's moment. Geelong by 28 points over Carlton down at Cardinia Park. Collingwood by 35 Friday night. Richmond, 28-point winners over the Saints earlier today. And up north in Brisbane, it was the Swans by 18 points over the line.
And today's Macca's moment, it was not long after the Adam Tomlinson incident. The Bombers came to life, and it was beautifully called by our very own Bradley Seymour. 27th minute of the final quarter, a Jake Stringer goal, and here's how he called it on Triple M footy.
Little handball from Langdon was clever. Heppel, he's worked his butt off all evening, gets it to centre wing. Ball out the back now. Stringer can go. Runs his full distance. 60 from home. Stringer towards goal! Stringer's kicked 2 in 3 minutes. And if the coffin wasn't nailed shut, it is now. The new Grand Big Mac is available at McDonald's after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time. In the end, it was a 35-point win to the Essendon Bombers. The Triple M Best on Ground Award, thanks for Just for Men. And I know this personally because it does get rid of grey hair in just 5 easy minutes. Visit justformen.com.au to learn more.
You're disappointed you didn't get the Macca's moment. I saw your head go down when that was going on.
Brownie,
We work as a team up here.
we are a team.
Very different to Melbourne. Very different.
Clearly.
To Melbourne. Okay, votes tonight. I gave 1 vote to Devon Smith. I thought he was absolutely outstanding tonight. His pressure. Devon Smith laid 13 tackles, 21 disposals. He kicked a goal. I thought David Zaharakis was outstanding all night. 33 disposals, 6 clearances, kicked the goal, and he laid 5 tackles. Dyson Heppel has led from the front, 28 disposals, and I thought where they won it tonight, the Bombers, was particularly in the clearances. 12 of his 28 disposals come from clearances. So Dyson Heppel got the 3 votes for me tonight. Heath Shaw, I thought, was unlucky not to get a vote.
And to answer your question before, Brownie, yes, filthy that I didn't have the Macca's moment.
Fair enough,
so, yeah, absolutely livid. But that's okay. That's how we work up there. There's a pecking order.
We're done?
I think we're done. Do you want to go?
I believe our man Troy Luff is down in the Bombers' room.
I think we're done.
Don't talk about
Yes, we're down here, boys.
Oh,
And the
let's
players
give him one
are
more.
yes, the players are just on their way in. Geez, they look excited. And I've got to tell you what, how good was the crowd tonight? The amount of Essendon supporters that were here. It was really, GWS supporters need to have a look at that and work out that's how you support football. The boys are walking. Geez, they look excited. Bush is in amongst them. Mark Harvey, obviously, the coach, has come in. And let's hear them sing the song.
They will celebrate tonight. A happy team at Windy Hill. Next week, GWS fly to the city of Churches to face the Adelaide Crows. The Bombers face the Tigers at the MCG. Done and dusted from Spotless. Bombers by 35 points for the Big Mac Triple M. Rocks football.